Looks like it.
All right, I'd like to call the ONCC Executive Meeting, September 27, 2021 to order. The commission is meeting remotely pursuant to Public Act 101-0640 related to COVID-19, which allows public bodies to subject to the Open Meetings Act to conduct remote meetings under certain conditions. Mara, would you please call the roll?
Those of Niles,
Here?
those of Schaumburg, those of Bensonville,
Here.
those of Norwich,
Here.
School District 86,
Here.
those of River Grove,
Yeah.
those of Melrose Park, and School District 234.
Here.
We have a quorum.
And Maura, I'm here for the city of Chicago for the commissioner.
Sorry, Aaron, thank you.
I think you did that last time too, Mara.
Yeah.
But that's all right. All right. Next on the agenda is approval of the September 8th, 2021 ONC executive meeting minutes. If there are any changes, do I hear a motion and a second to approve?
Also
Motion.
move. Second.
Any changes? If not, call the roll.
Those of Niles,
Yes.
I don't know how long I'll be able to make it.
okay, Dennis, thank you. Those of Bensonville,
Yes.
I'm not,
Village of Norwich,
Yes.
District 86,
Yes.
Village of River Grove,
yes,
District 234,
Yes.
and City of Chicago.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Next on the agenda is report from the Chicago Department of Aviation. Aaron Frame will provide us with the report. Aaron?
Good morning, everyone. We'll get into this in a minute when we go over the main agenda, but Ryan's going to give you a presentation at the main meeting on Friday. I can't think of anything else really that's front burner. We have 3 meetings this week. We have this meeting, we have residential committee on Wednesday, and we have full commission on Friday. Chairman, is there anything that you wanted to ask of us?
No, not at this point. No.
Okay, Ryan Anderson, am I missing anything that you can think of?
No.
Okay, Chairman, I think that's it. Just real short and sweet today.
All right, very good. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the strategic planning recap and a work plan. We had a as you know, a great discussion.
Not that I know of.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Sorry.
Okay. We had a great discussion at last meeting about priorities for the coming year. As you know, every year in August, the executive committee and those invited get a chance to talk about the coming year's programs. And this year we did it slightly differently, as you know. And what I would like to do is just recap one more time what I'd like to see the ONCC do this year. First is outreach to members. One of my priorities as chairman is to enhance the member education and residential outreach efforts. To that end, we will be starting to incorporate educational components into our general meetings. Starting with this month, I have asked Ryan Anderson to present Airport 101, of course, breaking it up into sections, so that we don't spend too much time during the meeting on the subject. We will also be starting to look at how we can better provide a package of materials for our members to distribute to residents when they have questions. One of the things I'd hope to accomplish is uniformity in answers with all the members. But there's no way of knowing for sure if that's happening, and I'd like to make sure that's happening. The other thing I'd like to see happening over time is that the individual delegates, either themselves or through a
Joe, I have to leave the meeting there, go do a procedure on me.
Okay, Dennis.
I'll
Take
see
care,
if
will
I.
ya?
All right, thank you.
I'd also like to see the members themselves get more involved in their communities so that if there's questions of noise or even complaints of noise, they accept the complaints and so that they can bring them back tomorrow and we can help better define what's going on in their communities. I'm also going to start a new subcommittee. I will be forming a new subcommittee of the technical committee, and Evan agreed to this, that will study noise mitigation initiatives. I see this group as more of a working group at the moment, a venue for working out solutions, and then possibly in the future, presenting their ideas to the technical committee for further action. Ernie is the chairman of this committee. Ernie, do you have anything you'd like to say?
No, Joe, I just appreciate the opportunity to help out where I can. I think it's a natural progression for ONCC to, as we get wrapped up and fly quiet, to see what we can do about any issues regarding daytime noise. So appreciate the opportunity, and we'll be building the committee here in the near future.
All right, Ryan, you said you would help out.
Yes, Chairman. CDA has, offered our assistance to this new committee to kind of help guide what is possible and not possible with daytime operations. It's obviously going to be something much more challenging and than what we've been doing in Fly Quiet. And I think from my understanding of this committee, it's really kind of just seeing what is possible, if anything.
Yeah.
And just kind of brainstorming ideas.
If I could add something to that, and if something is not possible, it would be nice to have a record of why it's not possible so that people can see it. So that when the question arises again, because somebody may come up with it again in 6 months.
And Chair, I might add that if the answer comes back that, hey, it is what it is and we can't do anything about it, then that's the answer and that's fine. But I think you're correct. It's something that we clearly can investigate. And if nothing else, that will allow us as ONCC commissioners to be able to go back to our constituents and say, look, we've looked at it and this is about as good as it's going to be. And if there is something that we can do, at least we will have investigated it. And like I say, if the answer is this is what it is, and we've just all got to live with it and bear with it, then that's the answer. So that's it.
Thank you, Ernie.
And Chairman,
Also,
Yes.
just to make sure I understood, this committee will be reporting, any summary or outcome to the technical committee.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
my question or comment is, the things that aren't our ability to do anything about them now, it's kind of like medicine. You never know what comes out in the future. So a thought was, are we aware of where and if any research studies are going on? Who's doing things about looking into noise abatement, noise collection of data, and so on? It might be something to keep our eye on.
Well, I'm sure Ryan is up to date, and certainly that's something that the subcommittee could be looking into. I mean, as they come up with their ideas, they're going to have to use information to determine whether or not it's been thought of before and whether it's feasible or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Joe, are we just limiting this to physical things that we can actually do to create noise, or are we going to be allowed to venture into the policy side and legislative approaches?
That is wide open for the committee. If they want to look into that, that's fine. In fact, my mandate is to look at everything that's conceivable that they think makes any sense, and then we'll define whether anything could be done about it at all.
Because I know our partners up in Glenview are always pushing the policy approach.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Ernie, you got that?
I got it, Joe. I might add that we've had representatives before to the the airport UC Davis symposium on aircraft noise and emissions. And I've been asked to be on the program planning committee this year for that symposium and planning on attending it as well. And I think that'll probably be a resource that we can use. And Evan, that would clearly go toward the policy issues as well as the physicality of, what can we do to reduce noise, period. So I'm looking forward to being on that program planning committee and attending that symposium, which is currently scheduled to be in person next year.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have further discussions about this later on, but I'd like to continue with the meeting. Next on my agenda is, and I talked to Aaron about this, about incorporating some new topics into the Residential Sound Insulation Committee, including land use initiatives and model ordinances. One of the things that strikes me as unfortunate, I think, is in some communities, they're allowing new construction going on, and I suspect that they don't have any kind of a noise ordinance. Yes, Evan? Oh, okay, sorry. I think that's something the residential committee can start looking into. Again, I know it was looked into maybe 10 years ago or so, Aaron, and I think the outcome of that was that Arlington Knights created a quite extensive sound ordinance for new construction, major modifications. And I think that could be a worthwhile activity. Because even if you're outside the 65 DNL like I am, soundproof windows help. They do help.
I was
And
going
with
to bring
that-
it up at Wednesday's residential sound meeting, that this is one of your initiatives that you'd like us to look at, and then maybe we can discuss it, since it's not on our agenda, but we could discuss it at our November residential sound meeting, get more into it here.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. And lastly, I'm always up for a party. And I think ONCC deserves a party for its 25th anniversary. The plan is hopefully, depending upon the COVID situation, to be held in the spring. We'll also be looking to producing a video highlights ONC accomplishments over the past years. I want this to be, if at all possible, a meeting where we can actually get together and see each other. Zoom meetings are very nice for these kinds of things that we need to do, utility things, but I think one of the best ways of learning things from each other is simply seeing each other face to face. And I think a party of this type is a great opportunity for us. We will continue to provide updates on strategic planning items, and please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any feedback or suggestions on any of the subjects that I have just talked about. Next on the agenda is committee reports, and with that is the Fly Quiet Committee. I can either do it, or Ryan, you could do it, or Evan, if you want to do it. Karen isn't here today. She's out of town. Is anybody interested in?
Sure, I
No?
can summarize, Chairman.
Okay,
So,
Ryan.
The Fly Quiet Committee meeting was last held in September and just last week, and we went through alternative H, beginning with the primary configurations. The committee opted to look at a modification of the sequencing of those configurations in alternative H and did approve a change for the schedule. We then started discussion on vector headings on primary runways, departure runways, which will resume at the next Fly Quiet Committee meeting. The committee also began discussion of selection of a vice chair. However, there was more than one nomination, and so I believe the vote was tabled. And so to make it a little bit cleaner for the next meeting, where hopefully we will have a Fly Quiet vice chair election. So the next meeting will be held on, Maura, help me out.
28th,
I'm sorry,
October 28th.
October 28th. And it will be held on Zoom again.
Thank you, Ryan. That was pretty good considering it was just off the top of your head. Thank you again. Next on the agenda is committee reports. And there was a mention of a selection of a fly quiet chair. Now, the committee itself is the one that has to vote. And we have two, Mara, is it true we have two people that wish to be elected vice chair for that committee?
That I'm aware of.
Yes. Do you remember the names?
It was Russ Klug of Schiller Park and Alderman Dunn of Elmhurst.
Okay. So at the next Fly Quiet meeting, we'll have a new vice chair, which will be good because it takes a burden off of Karen to do it all by herself. Next is it's called Report of the Chair. And with that, we have a consulting contract we need to approve. I'm assuming it's yours, Maura?
No, you talked about approving Fran's.
Oh, I thought we did that already. Oh, no, we didn't. I apologize. Do I hear a motion to approve Fran's consulting contract? Somebody?
I'm gonna be the, real quick, I'm gonna be the dumb kid. Was that circulated? I didn't see it as an attachment.
I think it was circulated earlier. It wasn't circulated in this one.
I gotta be honest, I didn't read it, so I'm gonna abstain.
Has anybody else not seen the contract? All right.
And I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
Now, do I hear a second?
Second,
Is there a discussion?
My only question is, do we still have a quorum?
I don't think so.
I wish
Maura-
you hadn't asked that.
Maura,
because
how-
As long as you didn't ask, we could have continued.
Maura, how many members of the exec are still on the Zoom? 5 or 6?
There are 6. So is that enough? I believe there's 3 absent, if I have the.
So
correct-
I would say if it's 9, then we have 6 out of 9.
Okay,
It's still a
sorry.
quorum, isn't it?
That's a
Yeah.
quorum.
You just need a simple majority, Chairman.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so let's continue. We have a motion, and did I hear a second?
yes, Ray Cooper.
Okay.
All right, discussion. There's no discussion. Can you take the vote?
Yes. Villager Niles,
Yes.
Villager Bensonville,
Present.
Villager Norwich,
Yes,
District 86,
Yes,
District 234,
Yes,
and City of Chicago.
Yes,
No knock on Fran, sorry, I just didn't read it and I don't want to vote on stuff. I
No,
didn't
no,
read.
it's okay.
I like Fran. She's nice to me.
Great. I'm glad to hear that. All right, did it
Motion
pass?
carried.
Motion
Yes.
carried. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for taking the time to look at the contract, who had an opportunity to see it. We're now at 9, comments from the audience. Are there any comments?
You're already the audience? That was quick.
I tend to
Oh,
be.
agenda, Joe, we didn't do the agenda, sorry.
Okay.
Point of order.
Oh. You're right, the agenda. I'm not that quick. All right, let's take a look at the agenda. That would be before the audience gets to participate. Thanks, thanks, Dan, for reminding me to do my job. Let's take a look at the agenda. I'm not going to read this to you because I think you can read it yourself. I think it's self-explanatory. Are there any questions about the agenda?
Mr. Chair, if I could just add some context to number 5.
Yeah.
presentation. So, per your direction, excuse me, we're looking to provide more education and outreach.
Yes.
And we felt this would be, a good opportunity to, since the full commission meetings have a lot of people that attend that may not participate in some of the other subcommittees like technical committee where we've provided airport 101 and noise 101. So it'd be a good opportunity to kind of start fresh with the full commission this fall and present. I believe your idea is to present both airport 101 and eventually noise 101 to the full commission. So airport 101 is going to be, for especially those on this committee, a bit remedial, and but there are several commission members who have probably going to see it for the first time. It is a bit of a, it can be a lengthy presentation. We've done airport 101 and 201, as well as noise 101 and 201 at technical committee. So the idea is that we would kind of split this up so it's not, a full hour-long presentation at the full commission meeting. So we'll be doing kind of let's call it the first half or part one of airport 101, just to make sure everyone has a good base layer of knowledge when it comes to airport operations.
Thanks, Ryan. I also believe that even if you're well versed on the airport, I think it's a good idea to always review, because sometimes your memory will play tricks, and you think you may know something, and in fact, you may not. So I think it's going to be good for everybody. Thanks, Ryan. Any other questions about the agenda?
Joe, under your report, should we do something about the executive director, whether we're going to keep Maura on permanently or whether we're going to actually go out and interview for executive director? Just let the rest of the members know what's going on.
Yeah, Chairman, that's a good question. If the search committee has been formed, would it be appropriate to allow Mayor Sherwin to give an ad hoc committee report?
I don't think we're there yet, Aaron, because although I did tell him that there's money available, I didn't tell him to start yet.
Okay.
Because I think there's a couple of issues I would like to discuss with you and Maura before we go out searching.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And that has to be done. Maybe we could do it at the end of this meeting, even just to get it out of the way.
Okay.
And then we'll see where we're going.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Because depending upon the next meeting that we have, will determine what Mayor Sherwin does, if anything. If that makes any sense to anybody. If not, I'm being cryptic on purpose. Trust me. Okay. Any other questions about the agenda?
I actually do have a question. I know the ad hoc budget committee has met, although we're not ready to put forward the draft budget for approval, but should that be, do we want Dr. Cooper to give a report?
Yes. He's got to
So
say
I'm gonna
something.
add that, I should add that to the committee reports.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other comments?
Just circling back to fly quiet, I know there were at least one person said we're going to do the election for the vice chair by secret ballot. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. I don't think we can do that. It's just an up or down vote, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're just nothing personal.
Chairman, I did some research. I do think that as a means of voting, you do have the ability to do a ballot vote. I'm not sure that a virtual meeting that's requiring roll call by state law allows for that at this time. I think if you were in person, you would be able to do a ballot just like you would be a voice vote or something else. I just think the virtual puts a damper on that.
Okay. Any other comments, Evan?
No, sir.
All right. Any other questions or comments on the agenda?
Nope.
All right, so this will be the agenda. We don't have to vote on the agenda, do we? No. Okay, so what's that? No. All right, thank you. Dan Dwyer has a comment.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Sort of a comment and question on Fly Quiet. It seems as we delve deeper into these plans, we're more and more forced to speculate on the future airfield and how it'll actually operate. And with that future airfield now less than 2 months away, has any consideration been given to the categorical exclusion used in tests 1, 2, and 3 to actually test some or all of this preferred alternative?
Well, I'm not confident to even get close to that answer.
I was just reading through some of the materials with tests 1, 2, and 3. Test 1 took 10 days to get a CADX approval from the FAA. So I guess the question is how beneficial it would be to the committee and perhaps to the FAA to see how some of this actually operates, particularly that north airfield. So I just thought I'd throw it out there. I've learned if you don't ask, you don't get anything. So
Well, Dan, as usual, you've given us something to think about. And
I'll say from
discuss
the
later.
From the village of Bensenville, we believe that a rotation plan is long overdue and any delay to a permanent plan would be opposed.
I certainly concur with that, Evan. I guess the question is to ask the FAA, would this actually delay anything or be a benefit? But we'll see where it goes.
All right. Dan, thank you. Like I said, you always have a good question and one that makes us all think. We're finally to 12. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Ray Cooper.
Second, Summers.
Take a roll?
Village of Niles,
Yes.
Village of Bensonville,
Yes.
Village of Norwich,
Yes.
District 86,
Yes.
District 234,
Yes.
and City of Chicago.
Yes.
We are adjourned.
All right. Thank you for everybody attending today. We'll see you all on Friday.
Friday.
Is it possible that Mara, Aaron, and Ryan stay?
Yes, Chairman.
All right. Thank you.
Maura, can you stop the recording?
Hey, Joe.